Hey there YouTube, the trail never ends. I know a lot of you like to explore via Google Earth, and if you've explored the Arizona desert much, you probably come across one of those rectangular looking things out in the middle of nowhere, and ask yourself what that is. You know, is it a deep underground military base, or is it a giant sarcophagus for the extinct race of giants? Well, in most cases it's not any of those. It's actually one of these. This is a game water catchment that was installed by the Arizona Game and Fish Department, and you can see the big tin top. Basically it catches rainwater, it runs down, hits this trough, it's angled, and underneath it there are some tanks that catch and store that water. This one looks to be plastic. I don't know if you can see that. I think some of them do have concrete cisterns, and they store the water and keep it for the wildlife, the game. And if you walk around, there's always one of these next to it where the water is exposed to the surface. And as usual in Arizona, there's a million bees wherever there's a source of water. But you'll notice there's little steps in it. That's so smaller game like rabbits, you know, ground squirrels, whatever, if they happen to fall in, they can get back out and they don't drown. This one has two of them. I don't know if I've ever seen another one that has two of these. This one obviously doesn't have any water in it. There's a tag on it. Here's a better look at the tank. So these are scattered around the low deserts of Arizona. I spent some time up in central Arizona for several years. I don't think I ever came across one up there. It's basically there's not nearly the need for one up there because water is more plentiful, more rainfall, lower temperatures. But these are scattered around the low deserts of Arizona to help provide the game with a water source. Tortilla Mountains. So you'll notice the fence as well. I think the fence is probably to keep cattle out, because the cattle, and there are cattle here, the cattle have their own water source. Several water sources, in fact, the ranchers provide. And if you let cattle in here, they probably would, first of all, they'd crap everywhere. Then they would probably stomp on the tin, destroy it, and just foul the water source. So my assumption is this fence is to keep cattle and horses or whatever out, because they have their own source, while allowing the coyotes and deer and whatever access to a water source. And I know there's another one of these a couple miles that way, and up what's called Ripsey Wash, and then back that way towards what I believe is called Grayback Mountain, there's another one. So there are a fairly frequent occurrence in the low desert here. So if you're on Google Earth and see these things, that's what you're looking at. A water source, a government water source for the animals.